Alright, you're all very funny. Contrary to popular opinion, I can't actually see the future. Technical issues yesterday. Fingers crossed, technical issues sorted. So we've got the start of a new season anyway. So I'll try, if it is broken, I'll try and sync it up better so I don't spoil all these exciting transfers before they appear on the screen. Hello and welcome to part 8 of the Milan mission. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have our first game of the season away against Pescara in Serie A. But more important than that, we have our transfers for the summer, a little recap of them. And more important than that, at the end of the episode, we've got the draw for the Champions League group stages. Remember, that's what the Milan mission is all about. We need to get back to become a European superpower. It's not enough to just win the league in Italy, which we haven't even done yet. We need to win the Champions League at least once, get Milan back where they're supposed to be. So I guess we look at the transfers first, do we? It's not been the busiest of summers on the transfer front, and it's all because of one man, because he's kind of wrecked everything for us. And as the script for this show seems to show, would we call this a show? As the script for this series seems to write itself as if by magic, the man at the centre of it all is Mattia De Silvio, the fullback of 1,000 names, because an offer came in from, I want to say, Man United early in the window, and we declined it. He had a hissy fit, so we ended up saying, yeah, you can go if they offer a decent amount. They came in and offered about 8 million. We laughed, said, nah, give us 20. They agreed to do it, at which point I abandoned my previous transfer plans, which had been bring in N'Golo Kante and a decent centre-back, who I forget the name of. Cancelled both of those deals. Kante was coming in for about 25 million. Centre-back was about 8 million, I think. But they were both going to be significant players for the squad. We'd already brought one player in, who we'll meet in a minute. But we cancelled that because without De Silvio, we didn't have a decent left back, so we thought, right, well, we need to go and buy a left back, but also he's our backup right back as well. You see where this is going, presumably. I went out and bought a couple of fullbacks, but then didn't delay the deals until after he went to United, and he turned down United on personal terms. We'd already signed a left back and a right back, who you'll meet in a minute, to replace him. So we've now got about 6 fullbacks in the squad who are all good enough to be playing for us on a regular basis, which is problem number 1. Problem number 2 is he won't go anywhere. No one will pay 20 million for him apart from United, and he won't go there. Even if someone does, the board are only letting us keep 35% of the money we bring in, so we're not going to be able to go out and buy anything with the money. 20 million, by the time he's had a cut, and this, that and the other has had a cut, and we've only had 35% of it, it's going to be negligible. It's not going to be enough to buy a player. Chelsea wanted him last summer, so we've been trying to offer them a swap deal. Kante for him, not interested. We offered at one point De Silvio plus £5 million after 50 appearances for us, plus £5 million after another 10 international appearances, plus £5 million after 10 league goals, plus 50% of whatever we sold him on for in the future, and Chelsea still said no, at which point I realised we were being silly, and I'm kind of glad they didn't accept that one. But we're stuck with him. He won't go anywhere. So we've got loads of fullbacks, and that's kind of all we did, because we haven't been able to bring in the centre-back or Kante because of him, and it's all his fault, and he'll probably leave on deadline day and we won't have time to do any business. And even if we did have time, we won't have any money because the board are being stupid, because we've got a new chairman as well, so we weren't allowed to do any transfer business until about the second week of July because we were having a takeover and they weren't sure if I was going to keep my job. Oh, it's been one of those summers, seriously. Oh, frustration. So in the end, this is all we've been able to do. We've brought in 3 players. We've not sold anyone really, anyone significant, which is good, although there are still clubs coming in for players, so that might change, and if it does, this probably won't, because we won't have any money to spend because the board are stupid. But we brought this guy in at the start. He was part of the original plan. Ignacio Camacho, 26-year-old Spaniard, came in from Malaga. You've probably heard of him if you follow Spanish football. Obviously I haven't. He could be imaginary for all I know. But we play with a defensive midfielder more often than not, and as much fun as Mehmet Topal is, the guy we brought in for £5 million last summer, he's not a Champions League player, so we needed to bring in a proper Champions League quality defensive midfielder. Camacho fits the bill, so he's come in to do that. Remember who was supposed to be with him, another midfield player and a top quality centre back. That didn't happen because we then went out and got these two when we panicked that De Sciglio was leaving. So firstly, this guy had an offer accepted by Inter Milan. We'd been scouting him anyway, we knew about him, but we didn't think we needed him because we had two decent right backs already, so we didn't think any more of it. He was on the verge of signing for Inter when the Man United offer came in, so we went and gazumped Inter, offered more money, offered him more money, and he's come to sign for us. Makey. I mean, if it was a B, it'd be maybe. Perhaps it's Makey. I might just change it to Mike. We'll see. But he's a 23-year-old Brazilian right back / right winger. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He's as good as De Sciglio and Abate, but this guy is like £20 million of a player that we can't really leave out. This guy we've just made captain, so our promising young Brazilian might not get in many games. What I'm actually thinking is Arsenal have been chasing Abate all summer. He doesn't want to go, he's happy being our captain, but if we get to deadline day and De Sciglio's still not going anywhere and Arsenal come in again with 15 million for him, I guess the sensible thing is to let him go. He's 29, Makey is only 23 and should be a leading player for most teams in our division. As it stands, he's our third choice right back because of stupid circumstances caused by a monster whose name I can't even say. The other guy we brought in is a left back. Atrav Lazar comes in from Chelsea, 24-year-old Moroccan. Again, young player, lots of potential, very attacking fullback. Same as Makey, can play left back, can play left wing, very quick, good crosser. Exactly. I mean, he's a prototype Chapman fullback. We know what to expect from this kind of guy. He is. Oh, hold on, that's midfield. No, that's wing back. There you go. He's the best wing back. He is as good as De Sciglio at left back, which again puts us in a situation where this guy kind of needs to get out of the way now, because if he doesn't, we've got Antonelli and Vangioni both still at the club, who are not going to get any games. Vangioni won't leave. We've tried to get rid of him all summer. We can't get rid of him. So do we sell Antonelli if he stays? But then we've got him still unhappy. It's totally messed us up, and also meant that we've gone all summer and not signed the centre-back we really needed, because we can't afford him. In fact, there's one. Ramon was going to come in, 21-year-old Brazilian, who looks like he's going to be awesome. This was the centre-back we were supposed to be bringing in. Oh, the scout report's gone. We did have a scout report for him. I don't know why it's disappeared. But he was 5-star potential, Brazilian wonder kid territory. When that fell through, we tried to get Joe Gomez from Liverpool, because, you know, why not? Again, bags of potential, young player. Thought he'd be fairly cheap. Can't get anyone though, because we've got no money to spend. The board won't give us another penny. We've got £55 million in the bank, and if you look at our projection for the season, can't have £5 million for Joe Gomez. I don't understand the new board. They annoy me a lot. So let's get into the first game of the season. That was ranty, wasn't it? The rantiest transfer update you've ever had. We're playing Pescara. We'll get this game out of the way, probably lose, then we'll go and see who we've got in the Champions League. Obviously, because we haven't been able to sign another centre-back, Romagnoli's got himself injured over the summer, so he's got a hernia and hasn't done any pre-season training. He's going to be out for a couple more weeks. And Camacho came in, got himself injured. Straight away, within a day of signing for us, he dislocated his shoulder. He's going to be out for at least another 6 or 7 weeks, so don't expect to see him for the first couple of episodes of this season. So actually, despite spending £30-odd million, we are playing an 11 of players who were all here last year. I've got nothing more to add. You know my thoughts on this. Big news though. He's our first choice this year. You've all been crying out for it. As I predicted, Donnarumma's been getting better. Diego Lopez has been on the decline, or at least Donnarumma's caught him up. They're both classed as 2.5 star at the moment, but Donnarumma's got all the potential in the world. So he's our first choice this year. So Donnarumma's going to be in goal. We have a back four of De Sciglio, Zapata, Gomez and Abate. The reason I want Joe Gomez is because I want Gomez and Gomez at the back. because it would just amuse me. Mehmet Topal, didn't think he was going to be playing much this year, but obviously he's going to be for a little while. At the base of the midfield with Mauri and Poli in front of him, Bonaventura and Niang on the wings as usual, and Bacca, the top scorer in Italy last year and our new vice-captain. Hopefully we'll pick up where he left off, bag a couple of goals today. Oh goodness me, see, we've got so many injuries already that we're having to throw squad numbers at youth team players on the first day of the season. I mean, the board have just, the combination of the board and De Sciglio have just wrecked us. It's ridiculous. I have nothing more to add. I hope the board are listening, and I hope they sack me so I can go and manage Inter and make them champions of Europe instead. And then just look back at the board and say, look, this is what happens. This is what you've done to me. You've done this to yourselves. But I suppose then we could still call it the Milan mission. They're still in Milan. There's a thought. Get sacked, go to Inter. I was offered the job, well, offered an interview with Spurs over the summer. Not going to Spurs. Why do Spurs always offer me jobs? Constantly getting job offers from Spurs. Don't get it. Oh, look who it is! Giving away a penalty now! I mean, I know I can't say his name, but seriously, that lad has got it in for me. Donnarumma doesn't even manage. I mean, I thought you lot said he was good. Not happy here at all. What a stupid game this is sometimes. Whereas I haven't even got any Coke Zero. We've run out of that, so I'm drinking this. I'm drinking a Coke Zero ingredient. I haven't got any of the syrup. It's got one of the component parts. It's not the same. Like dishwater. Oh, we've scored. Who cares? Zapata. We have got a decent centre back that we didn't really play all last year. Is that one? He might get a bit more game time this year. You never know. I mean, that's an interesting header from a corner. It was kind of a looping header. I don't really know how that's gone in. Don't know how that's dropped down under the crossbar. But who cares? It's 1-1. Hopefully the fullback of 1,000 names won't mess us up again. In fact, he whipped across him for Bacca there. It got a bit of a deflection and fell for him very nicely, but it's bounced back off the post. And you would have expected him to do a little bit better from the rebound, but he doesn't really get to it. Right, Mauri now. You've got to beat the first man, for goodness sake. Again, he wouldn't be in the team if the original transfer business had gone to plan, because Kante would have been in that position. But no, not allowed to sign him, because got to sign fullbacks that are now on the bench, because we've still got the other ones at the club. I could take some responsibility for this, because we shouldn't have signed the new ones until the old one had left. I realise that now, but it's a bit late for that, isn't it? I thought we'd given away another penalty. I was about to turn my laptop over and just go and sit in the paddling pool, and it's not even got water in it at the moment. I would just be sat in an empty paddling pool in the dark on a Tuesday night, and it would be better than this. Right, Bacca, go and score a goal. Oh, I mean, that's just beautiful. Oh, that would have made everything okay. I'd have gone back and re-recorded the whole of the first 10 minutes of this episode and made it much more positive, just because I knew that goal was coming. But alas, it's not to be. And somehow we've made it to half-time, still only 1-1 against Pescara. And I don't know if we played this last season. I've still not heard of them. What's my heart rate like after all this? I've got all worked 89 beats a minute. That's not good, is it? That's not healthy. This is what this game is doing to me. You don't get this playing drafts. I could be playing drafts, not Football Manager drafts. Drafts on a drafts board. Checkers, you might call it, if you say it wrong. But drafts, it's a nice, relaxing. Oh, for goodness' sake, we're giving away another penalty. Just said after a season of not playing him that he might get some time in the team, and he goes and gives a penalty. Well, at least let that be the kick up the backside that you lot clearly didn't take the first time you gave a penalty away. Can we go and try and win this football match now, please, folks? Let's go control. I mean, this it just shouldn't be happening. We're supposed to be the second best team in the country. We should be beating this lot. We should be hammering them. It's not as if they've done one of those horrible defensive Italian tactics. They're actually trying to win the match. We're not. Oh, I feel all cross. Right, he's coming off. I don't know why we let him stay on this long. Where's the new lad? Lazar. Come on, show us why we just spent £10 million on you when we could have got a midfield player. Niang, you've offended me with your uselessness today. Honda, you deserve an opportunity because your contract runs out at the end of the season. I've not given you a new one yet, but I have noticed that you sell more shirts than anybody else. So, you know, there's an incentive for us to keep you at the club. I'd rather an incentive that was based on your footballing ability, though. So, justify a new contract. We like the shirt sales. Backer, you're coming off as well because you've missed too many chances today. Oh, why do we not have a backup striker? What's happened here? Who is Lapadula? I mean, is it even worth bringing him on? We might as well just leave Backer on. Who is this? 26-year-old Peruvian. I mean, how do I not even know who he is? He was here all last year. I'm not bringing him on. What a waste of a position in the squad. Why isn't he sold? Central midfield. Let's change that up then. We got anyone there? Where is the rest of our squad? Right, Bertolacci. There you go, switch them two around. You go and do something magical. Why weren't you on from the start? Oh yeah, you're not fully fit. I remember now. I knew there'd be a reason. We even got asked about it at the start of the match. Backer's just hit the post again, hasn't he? I mean, how many more chances would that other guy have scored there, do we think? How many times would Backer miss sitters today? I mean, officially he's not had a clear-cut chance. But based on what we know about him from last year, you would have expected him to have a hat-trick with all the chances he's had today. Oh. Right, go on. 4 seconds. Just whip it in. If this is a sign of things to come, it's going to be an angry season. Let's go and cheer ourselves up with the Champions League draw. And if we get Real Madrid or Barcelona and then Man City and then Bayern Munich all in the same group, that's probably not even possible, but we probably will. This episode isn't even going to air. Well, Champions League draw then somehow. I mean, how are we only a third seed? We've won this competition 7 times. We're the second best team in Italy. What has the world become? So I guess we want to draw the first. How are Arsenal a first seed and AC Milan are a third seed? I mean, some of these teams, Benfica, Spartak Moscow. I mean, how are they top seeds and we're a second seed? I mean, well, I was going to say that, but there you go, that'll be the group we go in. We'll get thumped in that one. We're not making it out of that group. There's a chance in that one because of Spartak Moscow. No, thank you. That Group D, we like the look of Group D. Obviously, we can't have that group, so at least we've got Barcelona out the way. We can't be in the same group as Juventus. That'll probably be the one. That one will get thumped in as well. That one looks doable. Group G looks winnable. And then that one again, we might be able to make it out of that. So, watch us plop into this group straight away. Lucky old Olympiacos. Right, this one would probably be okay. Spartak Moscow don't worry me too much. No, we don't want this group. No, thank you. Whew. This one is probably my this is the one I want. Let's have Group D. Hey, we got the group we wanted. Oh, you were all so negative for the first part of that episode. Why the negativity? It's all worked out okay. Who else have we got? Villarreal. Oh, I mean, they're quite good, aren't they? But still. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's the Champions League. It's going to be hard. It's not the worst group we can have. There's some harder groups in there, definitely. I mean, that group, you wouldn't want to be in there, would you? Poor old Copenhagen, you wouldn't want to be them. I mean, that one is easy 2 winners. That one, you wouldn't want to be in there. That's your easy group. Look at that. Spurs have basically got a bye to the next round. There we go. If you've enjoyed that episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.